Now for our lesson today, I'm using imagery and thoughts from that beautiful gospel. But I'm also using imagery from a section of the first epistle of John 2:3-11. And what I've done is I've put this small reading right into the middle of the lesson. So if you look down, you will see it plopped right into the middle of our lesson. And I'll read it now. Beloved, the way we may be sure that we know Jesus is to keep his commandments. Whoever says, I know him, but does not keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoever keeps his word, the love of God is truly perfected in him. This is the way we know that we are in union with him. Whoever claims to abide in him ought to walk just as he walked. Beloved, I am writing no new commandment to you, but an old commandment that you had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word that you have heard, and yet I do write a new commandment to you, which holds true in him and among you, for the darkness is passing away, and the true light is already shining. Whoever says he is in the light, yet hates his brother, is still in the darkness. Whoever loves his brother remains in the light, and there is nothing in him to cause a fall. Whoever hates his brother is in darkness. He walks in darkness and does not know where he is going, because the darkness has blinded his eyes. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Going back now to the top. Moving through this scripture, the beauty of the words and images takes you from idea to idea and leaves you at all the connected things. The Apostle John writes about his strength of character, his faithfulness in relationships, and the veracity in all personal dealings. And we can tell if we or another is faithfully with Christ, or is just making lip service to his teachings, while going about their own business, from this epistle section. Quote, the way we may be sure that we know Jesus is to keep his commandments. Whoever says, I know him, but does not keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him. So many of our political leaders claim to know God, but they don't keep any of the commandments about not attending to the neighbor's goodness. They steal by giving the tax income to the very wealthy, 75.75%, rather than funding programs for the 98%. Yes, the nearly wealthiest 1.25% fall by the wayside. Ooh, where? They covet the natural resources of public lands, so they strip protections and enrich themselves and their associates as they strip the earth. They kill the earth and the people who are forced to live in areas with high pollution, high traffic, and high density living, but with no amenities, so they have to open their windows and cause asthma, emphysema, and COPD in concentrations from 6 times to 17 times higher than would naturally occur by chance. Thus, we can assuredly say for the majority of the current US Senate, the truth is most certainly not in them. And same for the US Congress as a whole. They most certainly are liars, as they fail to keep the commandments of God. One of the greatest sins is to lie about the Lord. That breaks 4 commandments, and then profit from it. But that puts 37% of Congress among that category, along with the Vice President of the United States, as well as nearly every televangelist active right now. False prophets, every one of them. And be with him in love all the days of your life, so that you have no fear of this occurring. John writes how an old commandment is one already well known, but wasn't previously a commandment. Continuing in that thought, but now changing it to compare the commandment to a word. That word is the oldest word, as it has been around since before time. But the word is also new, for as a commandment it was only called thus, created thus within the new time, so it has been found to be new. Quote, old almost since the foundation of the world, but new, not mentioned before, but part of everything we do, see, and say. For the darkness is passing away, and the true light is already shining. The new commandment is love. Love one another as I love you. Upon this foundation, all of Christ's ministry rests. I hope you all feel the love I send you this weekend as we start our lives anew again with a new year, a new decade, giving ourselves a new chance to refresh ourselves and start anew. Together in love and with peace, we can change the world, realizing the promise of tomorrow through Jesus Christ, with peace and with love, holding others to the promise of Christ through the commandments, because we know him, and in him, with us, there is truth.